Welcome back to the Means Report, everybody. Brad Means with you. We are glad you're joining us on this Sunday as we now cover a lot that's been going on in the city of Augusta. And we're going to begin with some great news. Mayor Deke Copenhaver is joining us once again. Always kind to stop by the Means Report set. He's done that since the very beginning, and we're grateful to him. Mayor Copenhaver, thanks for being here.
Brad, glad to be here.
Tell us about Electrolux. We're recording this on Thursday. You've just come from a big announcement. This is wonderful news.
225 new jobs that they're bringing in their solution center to Augusta, along with the $2.5 million investment. One of the things I love about it, they're a longtime community partner, but the choice of locations, the old Dillard's building in National Hills, to really rehabilitate that building, which is in a gateway corridor for our community, that's just going to add to the visitor, experience in Augusta.
It sure is. It's going to be huge, and I love the 225 new jobs. You know, you've talked on previous appearances that if we just hung in there, good news like this would be coming, and now it is. Talk about your recent trip to Santa Fe. You were planning it last time you visited the Means Report to go speak, one of only 8 mayors to take part in this institute. Tell everyone what you did.
Well, it's the Mayor's Institute on City Design, and it's a real honor to be asked to be a presenter. I presented about our new master plan, the Augusta Sustainable Development Agenda, extremely well received, but you've got a resource team of really the foremost minds in the nation, some in the world, on city design. One of the resource team members was the dean of the design school at the University of Pennsylvania. We really hit it off. She'd like to make a trip to Augusta, but amazing experience and giving me access to the resources that can really help move our city forward.
Well, you have these design experts and you have these mayors like yourself out there. Can you get a glimpse of what Augusta might look like, or can you share with the viewers some changes that they may see in our city because of those design experts and you getting together?
Well, Brad, after my presentation, it was interesting. One of the designers came up to me and she said, Your presentation was so spiritual, I felt like I went to church and I shed a tear.
Wow.
So it obviously was impressive to them, but so much of it is redevelopment. What they see is what I see, the potential here. You know, the 3rd level of the canal is going to be rewatered by Masters. There's so much redevelopment potential in our city center. They see that. We've got probably close to 40 acres of undeveloped riverfront property. You know, you bring in people like this and they see the potential, but they also know how to tell you how to unlock the potential.
All right, now let's talk about an issue that's coming down as we speak, and I know that by the time we hit the air Sunday that more may have developed, and I know that legal opinions are involved here, so you can't say a ton. Making headlines for what seems like the past couple of months, the Augusta Commission has gotten together and tried to figure out whether it wanted to give the city administrator the power to hire and fire people, particularly department heads, and when it all shook down by a vote of 6-4, it turned out that, or with 6 votes, that we did give the county administrator the power to hire and fire, but not department heads.
Well, no, the county administrator already had the authority to hire and fire except for department heads. The action by the commission gave him the ability, his sole recommendation, to hire or fire. So he has the power to give the sole recommendation.
He gives the sole recommendation, commission decides whether to yay or nay.
Which I will tell you, Brad, and I've said since I've been mayor, we need a government that really has some centralized authority, so we have centralized accountability. We have not had that. The commission should be a policy-making body and should have no input into personnel issues, because what that does is it politicizes the process. You have city employees that go around the administrator and go to commissioners for political protectionism, and that is not an efficient way to operate a government.
Okay, but now, Mayor Copenhaver, just moments ago, we have this letter that's come down from Representative Wayne Howard. He enlisted the help of the legal counsel for the legislative delegation. And according to my scan of Representative Howard's email, the centralized authority rests with you. The power to hire and fire could very well fall on the CEO of a town, which is the mayor, which is you. So by that vote the other day, Did you get the power to hire and fire? What is now happening?
Well, I'll tell you, Brad, and our city attorney is reviewing the legal opinion that was requested by the delegation, but commenting on the portion to where that opinion says that the CEO, which is the mayor, has the authority to run the day-to-day operations and to hire and fire. If that is the case, I would be more than happy to have that put in place, or if it's already in place, take advantage of it. That centralizes the decision-making process, but at that point, I have always pushed for a professionally run government. I've taken politics out of my decision-making process. I always accept the recommendation of the department heads because that's what we pay them to do. They're professionals. So basically, given that situation, I would let the department heads do their job and let the administrator do their job in running the government. I would continue to focus on bringing in businesses, representing the city. But if that is the case, that's a step in the right direction because it centralizes authority.
Well, in that scenario then, and I know we're not certain on it yet, would the department heads and or the administrator then recommend to you things that have to do with hiring and firing, and then you would be the one to say, yes, I agree or I disagree with what you've brought to me?
Well, right now, the administrator can hire and fire people beneath the department head level. Ultimately, to me, it's, you would have control over personnel, which would be basically, as I say, a clear-cut chain of command would be the department heads would go through the administrator, which would then have the CEO or the mayor above the administrator. And that way, I think you do have that clear-cut chain of command, and the administrator who's trained to run the day-to-day operations, I think would make recommendations to me, which I would then take with regards to a reorganization or anything else having to do with personnel.
All right, one way or the other, this might end with that centralized authority.
Well, and Brad, let me just say, the National League of Cities recommends that governments look at reorganization or updating their business plan on a 1 to 2 year basis. The problem that we've had here is that we haven't addressed it for 15 years.
Right.
And I would say if we set up a process of reviewing our governmental operations, have the commission review them on a regular basis, that's best practices. That's what we should have been doing all along. You got to get the personalities out of it and focus on the business situation.
All right, Mayor Copenhaver, a busy, busy time. Congratulations on the Electrolux announcement. And I know more good news is coming, and I always appreciate you coming here to share it.
Well, it's always great to be with you, Brad.
Yes, sir. Mayor Deke Copenhaver on the Set of the Means Report. Be sure to tune in again next Sunday, and we will have another edition for you as we continue to cover the people, places, and events in Georgia, Carolina. Until then, for Levi, Marlena, and the entire Means Report family, have a wonderful week.